Hey, what's happening? I want to show you all the breakdown of the Remington Speedmaster 552. I got this when I was 13 years old. My father bought this for me. Let's see, about 12. Yeah, I guess I was about 13, 12 or 13, somewhere in there. We did a little modification on it. We put this sling on here, drilled a hole here and here. On the 552, it's only attached to one bolt, so it was really kind of torquing this, and it was a possibility it was going to break this. So what we did is we drilled a hole through here in between the barrel and the feeding tube, and put a brass pin in there, and shaved it off, and made it look pretty good. We put some epoxy in there to kind of hold it in place, fill it in. But it works very well. It works very well. But again, I just want to show you the breakdown procedure. First of all, I want to take off this quick release sling. Yeah, it's kind of an ugly sling. It's the same sling I originally had put on there, but yeah, it's ugly, but it's functional. It does its job, and I can always take it off. And the gun looks very nice. I think this is a very nice looking gun. First thing we want to do, always want to safety check the gun. Empty. There's nothing in there. So that's good. First thing, remove this tube here, and I'll just set that right here. Roll off the table. All right. First thing I'm going to do, you can use a punch on these to get them out, but I've always just used my Swiss Army knife. I always have it with me, so usually if I'm taking guns apart, this is what I'm using. Yeah, you got to be careful because you could scratch it, but you just got to be really careful. You got to know what you're doing. I've done this many times, and I never really put any major scratches on it. The only scratch I got right there was, I don't know how I got that there, but it wasn't from taking it apart. I can tell you that. Okay, and then this smaller pin comes out. And the firing assembly just slides right out. Careful you don't lose those. And there's the firing assembly. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and decock this here. There you go. And you can further break this down. Honestly, I never have, but I've just, kind of cleaned. I've, just kept it very clean, just what I can get to. Probably one day I need to break it down and clean it all the way. I'm sure there's some grit down in here, but as you see, I mean, it's clean. Said I keep it clean. The next thing I want to do is remove this forearm grip. Like I said, we put a pin in here, so this just doesn't come off like it would from the factory. Be very careful with that because I don't want to slide that off and damage the wood or anything. Instead, I've kept this in pretty darn good shape. Nope, not yet. There we go. On mine, since I can't just take it off, I just kind of lift it up ever so gently and slide it forward. It just kind of slides it up and out of the way. Now you can remove the barrel from the receiver, and it just slides right out. There we go. Got the receiver, barrel, and this is a little bolt here, just held in place. You can just take this, lift it forward, and spring pulls that forward, and the barrel comes out. That's it. That's usually as far as I take it down, when I'm cleaning it. That's it. It's pretty easy, really. First time I did it, I had a little problem. Something else I may do occasionally is take these two small screws out and clean behind this little guard right here. But I don't do that every time. That's it. That's the disassembly of the Remington Speedmaster 552. Well, I showed you the disassembly of the Remington Speedmaster 552. So let's show you how to put it back together. Pretty much just the opposite of taking it apart. First of all, after you've cleaned everything really well, the bolt just slides right back in. I wish I had some towels down or something on the table. I hate banging this gun around. I don't know if it's probably going to do any damage to it, but I still just hate banging it around on the table. Alright, so once that's back together, the next thing you want to do is slide it back into the receiver. Very easy to do. That's it. How easy that is. I'll slide this forearm back up. Tighten this down. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've had this gun for years. This is the first gun I got. I was about 12 or 13. And I fired the heck out of this gun. It's a good gun. Alright, and once that's tightened down, this firing instrument just goes in. This firing instrument just goes in. Pretty easy about Yes, it is. Alright. That's in. I do is I put the small pin in first. And you can just push these in with your thumb. And then I put the rear one in. And that's it. And then the feeding tube back in here. I usually put a little bit of grease on this feeding tube with a little bit of oil or something just to keep it lubricated as it slides back in. That's it. A little side note, something that's interesting about this gun is the bolt action is on the left, which is kind of weird. Usually you have it on the right, you usually do it with your trigger hand. Now this one's on the left. I don't know why that is. It's always been a little weird. But, like I said, this was the first gun I ever had. This is what I got used to, and as I got older and got some other guns, it seemed weird to have it on the right side. But now I'm more used to the other, and this seems kind of weird to me. But I don't know why it's designed like that, but it's unique. I did have ordered recently a scope for this, scope and range. Can't remember what type it was. Ordered from Sportsman's Guide, the Barksta, I believe is what it is, or Barska, something like that. Ordered from Sportsman's Guide, should be in a few days, and so the next time you see this gun, it'll probably be sporting a scope. It's been a fun little gun to shoot, and I intend on keeping it a very long time. Again, that's this Remington Speedmaster 552.